chance to speech marathon. I mean, we have 3 speakers instead of 2. So the first speaker today is Marcy Miller. She has been with us for 3 months, and she will do her first speech by Icebreaker. The title is My Life. So please join welcome Marcy Miller.
I'll try not to be brusque today, as people think I am sometimes because I am not big on smiling, so I will try to smile and not be brusque. San Francisco, California, Victoria, Texas, St. John's, Newfoundland, Long Island, Warner Robins, Georgia, Los Gatos, California. Imagine living in all of these places in 9 years. My father was an Air Force pilot, and we moved around, and the longest I had been anywhere was 3.5 years in St. John's, Newfoundland. And our house was heated with a coal heater, and it actually snowed from October to May, cold, frigid snow. One night, a mountain of snow, 15 feet high, fell on my parents' Volkswagen. And the coal heater exploded one night when my father was on a mission. And there was black soot spread everywhere on the floor. My mother, brother, and I huddled and cuddled together to keep warm. It was so cold. And one night, my mom and dad took me out and said, look up at the sky. And there were the northern lights dancing all in the sky. And that was, after 3.5 years, we moved to East Meadow, Long Island. It was another place that had snow, and they also had strong accents. And after 2 years of living there, we moved to Georgia, in the heart of the South. And when I got there, the teacher said they couldn't understand me because I talked too fast and I talked with an accent. And this was the time when there was the Cuban Missile Crisis. And we had to do and there was a lot of fear around a nuclear disaster. And we would do air raid sirens and jump under our desk as practices for the air raid sirens. It was also a time when there was civil rights and racial segregation swirling around, and the black people entered the bus, went to the back. Black people also had their own restrooms. And I remember my mother taking me to the department store one day, and I had, as a little girl, I had to go to the restroom. And I saw a sign that said women, R-E-D. And I didn't realize that R-E-D, that colored, was actually partially taken off the sign. And as I entered, I was told by a black lady, I'm in the wrong restroom. After 2 years of being there, we moved to California and came across the United States in 2 cars, my brother, mother, and father, and I, along with a parakeet. And we, when I arrived there, I had been in 3 classes in 4th grade. My teacher told my mother they couldn't understand me. They thought I had a speech impediment because I had a strong Southern accent that I picked up. And my mother said, don't worry, she picks up accents everywhere and it will wear off soon. And they had the teacher had competitions there, multiplication competitions. And as I was in different levels of learning and quite far ahead in math, I could blow past everyone in the multiplication competitions, so much so that the teacher finally said, I can't compete anymore.
Sure.
It was defeating the kids. And so my parents encouraged me both in math and statistics. They actually wanted me to be an actuary. And out of college, I took a job at Amdahl as an engineer and moved across the country back to Massachusetts and lived there for a couple of years, and then decided to move to Washington, D.C., which I really enjoyed. The museums, they have great museums there, and took advantage of all of the museums. And I also raced sailboats on the Chesapeake. And at that time, my parents were getting older, and I decided to move back to my home state of California and took a job at Sun Microsystems. It was a company that I really enjoyed working at, and it was a company I really enjoyed working at, and they were under great financial stress. And unfortunately, they were under stress and downsized, and were taken up by, they were bought out by Oracle. And so then I later took a position at Kaiser, which I'm at Kaiser Permanente now, and I was responsible for the regions outside of California for all of the capital project delivery in IT for infrastructure and all the applications. And I was recently asked to take on and stand up a project management office nationally. And so that's what I'm doing now for delivering the project management office. And I've really, outside of college, I've really enjoyed traveling and working on stained glass windows. I have a great wanderlust, and I have been to many places around the world. I've been to 11 cities in China, and I've gone from Shanghai to Guilin and down the Yangtze River. And before they had the locks and dams, and also back in 1987 when I went, there were no cars except for the government workers, no cell phones. I've been to places that many people haven't been, to Greenland and Iceland and the Faroe Islands. What's next in my life? I'm not sure, but it could be Dubai, Easter Island, Terra del Fuego. And I've really enjoyed the experiences and opportunities I've had, and I want to thank you for your time today.